Welcome back, everybody, for another Friday deep dive into the world of BIM. This time, we're taking on a topic that's like reshaping how construction teams work together, cloud collaboration. But first, like a quick trip down memory lane for those who maybe haven't been following along from the beginning. We kicked things off exploring BIM in Australia and all those new LOD updates. Then we really dug into like what those LODs actually mean for project detail and costs. After that, we tackled those kind of mind-bending BIM dimensions, from basic 3D modeling all the way up to like 70 digital twins. And last time, we zoomed in on facade BIM, exploring how those LODs impact the design and coordination of a building's exterior.
Yeah, lots of complex but crucial concepts we've covered.
It's been a wild ride. But today's topic is all about how technology is changing the game when it comes to teamwork. Imagine a world where architects in Melbourne,
Right.
engineers in London,
Right.
and contractors in Dubai can all work together on the same project seamlessly, as if they were like in the same room. That's the promise of cloud collaboration.
And it's not just a futuristic dream, it's a reality that's transforming how projects are designed and built today.
Okay, so let's get into the why. Why is cloud collaboration so important in construction?
Well, the construction industry is facing a perfect storm of increasing project complexity and geographically dispersed teams. So think about it. You've got these intricate designs, demanding clients, and tight deadlines, all while coordinating with people across continents, the old way of doing things, with emails and file transfers and just endless version confusion. It just doesn't cut it anymore.
I can relate to that. I once spent an entire afternoon trying to figure out which version of a drawing was the latest one. Talk about a productivity killer.
Exactly, and those kinds of inefficiencies cost time and money. Cloud collaboration offers a solution by providing a centralized HUD where everyone involved in a project can access the latest information, the models, documents in real time.
So no more emailing giant files back and forth, or playing email tag across time zones. Sounds like a dream come true for anyone who's ever felt the pain of a clogged inbox. But how does this actually play out in a real project? Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say an architect in Melbourne makes a change to the building model. With cloud collaboration, that change is instantly reflected for the structural engineer in London and the contractor in Dubai. They can all see the update, they can comment on it, and they can coordinate their work accordingly, all within the same platform.
So no more waiting for someone to get back to you or wondering if you're working on the right version of a file. It's like everyone has this like shared up-to-the-minute view of the project. That seems like it would save a ton of time and headaches.
It absolutely does. And it's not just about convenience. It's about improving coordination and efficiency, which ultimately leads to better project outcomes.
Right, because in construction, time is money. Every delay, every rework adds to the bottom line. So how does cloud collaboration actually translate into those tangible benefits, like faster decision-making and reduced costs?
Well, think about how decisions are typically made on a construction project. You've got multiple parties involved, often in different locations, and there's this constant back and forth as information is shared, reviewed, and approved. This process can take days, even weeks, especially if you're dealing with different time zones.
I've been there, staring at my inbox waiting for that crucial email that's holding up the entire project.
Right, with cloud collaboration, those bottlenecks disappear. Imagine a scenario where the project manager needs to approve a design change. Instead of emailing the architect, waiting for a response, then forwarding the email to the engineer for their input, they can just simply make a note directly on the model within the cloud platform.
So everyone involved can see the change, provide their feedback, and the project manager can make an informed decision, all in real time. That's a game changer. What about those mullions clashing with slabs we talked about in our facade episode? Would cloud collaboration help prevent those kinds of coordination nightmares?
Absolutely. Remember, everyone is working from the same up-to-date model in the cloud. That means potential clashes and conflicts can be identified and resolved much earlier in the design process. Instead of discovering a clash on site, which can lead to costly rework, the team can flag it during the design phase and come up with a solution before it becomes a real-world problem.
So it's like having a built-in clash detection system that's constantly monitoring the project. That's going to be a huge relief for everyone involved, especially those working on those intricate facades we talked about. What else?
Version control. Remember that afternoon you wasted searching for the right drawing? Cloud platforms keep track of every change made to a file, ensuring that everyone is always working on the latest version. You can say goodbye to those confusing file names and the fear of accidentally overwriting someone else's work.
It's like having a guardian angel for your project files. Always there to make sure you're on the right track.
Exactly. And let's not forget about reduced IT costs.
Oh, right. I imagine managing all those files and servers can get pretty expensive. How does cloud collaboration help with that?
Well, with cloud-based platforms, you don't need to invest in expensive hardware or maintain your own servers. It's all handled by the platform provider, freeing up your IT resources and budget to focus on other priorities.
So it's like outsourcing your IT department to the experts, letting them handle all the technical headaches so you can focus on what you do best, designing and building amazing structures.
Precisely. And there's another benefit that's often overlooked: scalability. Cloud platforms can easily adapt to projects of any size. Whether you're working on a small renovation or a massive infrastructure project, you can adjust your resources as needed.
So you're not stuck with a system that's either too small or too big for what you need. You can scale up or down as the project demands change. That's pretty handy, especially in an industry where projects can vary so much in scope and complexity.
Exactly. Now let's talk about the tools themselves. There are a few key players in the cloud collaboration space that you should know about.
Okay, let's get specific. Which platforms are kind of leading the way?
Well, one of the most popular is Autodesk BIM 360. It's a comprehensive suite of tools that streamlines project management from design to construction, connecting everyone involved and facilitating seamless collaboration.
I've definitely heard of that one. What else?
Another popular choice is Trimble Connect. It stands out for its intuitive interface and its focus on easy sharing and reviewing of models, making it really simple for teams to stay in sync.
Sounds user-friendly. Any others?
And then there's Revizto, which is particularly interesting because it goes beyond just file sharing and coordination. It integrates communication, issue tracking, and clash detection directly within the BIM environment.
Wait, so instead of having like separate systems for communication and model coordination,
Yeah.
it's all just in one platform. That sounds like a game changer for keeping everyone on the same page.
Exactly. And what makes Revizto even more versatile is that it can integrate with a variety of different BIM software platforms. This means that teams can collaborate seamlessly even if they're using different tools.
We'll have to do a deep dive on Revizto sometime. It definitely sounds like a tool worth exploring in more detail.
Absolutely. It's a powerful platform with a lot to offer.
But for now, let's bring it back to the real world. Do you have any examples of projects where these cloud collaboration tools have made a tangible difference?
Sure. There was a recent project involving a global team that used Autodesk BIM 360 to coordinate the design and construction of a complex skyscraper across 3 continents. They had architects in Europe, engineers in Asia, and contractors in North America, all working together as if they were in the same office.
Wow, 3 continents. That's next level collaboration. Yeah. What were the results? Did they actually see those time and cost savings we've been talking about?
The results were impressive. By using BIM 360 as their central hub, they were able to significantly reduce rework, improve decision-making, and deliver the project ahead of schedule and under budget.
That's a powerful testament to the potential of cloud collaboration. It's not just hype, it's actually delivering real results for real projects. But let's be real for a moment. No technology is perfect. There must be some challenges and potential downsides to using cloud platforms for BIM.
You're absolutely right.
We'll be right back after a quick break. This podcast is brought to you by the LinkedIn group BIM Australia and New Zealand. Join our public group, BIM Australia and New Zealand, for more discussions and insights into the world of BIM.
Okay, so let's get into those less glamorous aspects. What are some things that people should be aware of before jumping headfirst into the cloud?
One potential downside is the reliance on a stable internet connection. While most platforms offer offline capabilities, you're still ultimately dependent on having access to the internet to fully utilize the power of cloud collaboration.
So if you're working on a project in a remote area with limited internet access, or say there's a widespread outage, it could disrupt your workflow. What about those scenarios where internet speed is an issue? Does that affect how well these platforms work?
Yeah, that's right. And even with a decent connection, you might encounter latency, which is that annoying delay that can happen when data is being transmitted. It's that lag you sometimes experience during video calls or online gaming.
Latency. I've definitely been there. Waiting for a page to load or a file to download can be frustrating. How much of an issue is latency for BIM projects?
It really depends on the complexity of the model you're working with and the speed of your internet connection. For simple models and tasks, it might not be noticeable. But for large data-intensive models, latency can become a bottleneck, slowing down your workflow.
So it's something to be aware of, especially if you're working on those massive infrastructure projects with tons of data. What about costs? I imagine these cloud platforms come with a pretty hefty price tag.
Well, while cloud collaboration can lead to long-term cost savings, by reducing errors, rework, and IT expenses, there's usually a subscription fee associated with this platform.
Okay, so you've got to weigh those upfront costs against the potential benefits down the road.
Yeah.
Are there any other financial considerations people should keep in mind?
Well, the good news is that cloud platforms have become increasingly affordable as competition in the market has heated up. Many platforms offer flexible pricing plans to suit different project needs and budgets, so you don't have to break the bank to get started.
That makes sense. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. But cost aside, are there any other potential risks we should be thinking about?
One concern that's often raised is vendor lock-in. This is where you become so reliant on a particular cloud platform that it's difficult or expensive to switch to a different provider in the future, even if their services or pricing change.
So you're kind of stuck with that vendor, even if you're not happy with them.
That's the risk. It's important to carefully evaluate the terms of service and understand the implications of vendor lock-in before committing to a platform. You want to make sure you have the flexibility to change providers if your needs evolve.
It's like signing a contract. You need to read the fine print and make sure you're comfortable with the terms before you sign on the dotted line.
Exactly. Choosing a cloud collaboration platform is a strategic decision. Don't just jump on the bandwagon of the most popular platform. Take the time to assess your specific needs, research different options, and choose a solution that aligns with your long-term goals.
It's about finding the right fit for your team and your projects. What else should people consider when making this decision?
Involve all stakeholders in the decision-making process. Don't let the IT department make the call in isolation. Get input from architects, engineers, contractors, anyone else who will be using the platform. Their feedback is crucial for selecting a solution that meets everyone's needs.
It's about making sure the platform works for the people who will actually be using it day in and day out. But beyond the practicalities of choosing a platform and getting people on board, how is this shift to cloud collaboration shaping the future of the construction industry as a whole?
Well, this goes beyond just efficiency. It's fostering a new culture of collaboration in the industry. Traditionally, construction has been very siloed, with architects, engineers, and contractors often working in isolation.
Right, and we've talked about how that can lead to miscommunication, errors, and delays. Is cloud collaboration really breaking down those silos?
It is. With everyone having access to the same information and tools, those barriers start to crumble. Cloud platforms enable real-time communication and coordination, fostering a more integrated and collaborative approach to design and construction.
It's like everyone is working on the same virtual construction site, regardless of their physical location. But how is that impacting the actual buildings being constructed?
For starters, it leads to better design decisions. When architects, engineers, and contractors can collaborate from the earliest stages of a project, they can identify potential issues, explore different options, and arrive at more innovative and efficient solutions.
So it's like having a team of experts brainstorming and problem-solving together from day one, instead of trying to fix things after the fact.
Exactly. And that early collaboration leads to fewer errors and rework during construction. When everyone is on the same page and working from the latest information, there are fewer surprises and costly mistakes.
And fewer mistakes means less waste, which is good for everyone, especially in an industry that's striving to become more sustainable. What other positive impacts are we seeing from this new collaborative culture?
Cloud collaboration is also fostering greater transparency and accountability when everyone has access to the same information and can track the progress of a project in real time. It creates a more open and transparent environment.
So no more hiding behind emails or blaming other teams for delays. Everyone can see what's happening, who's responsible for what, and how the project is progressing. Does that really change how teams work together?
It does. That increased transparency leads to a greater sense of accountability. When you know that your work is visible to everyone and that others are relying on you to do your part, you're more likely to stay on schedule and deliver high-quality work.
It's like that old saying, sunlight is the best disinfectant. When everything is out in the open, people are more likely to step up and do their best.
And ultimately, this new culture of collaboration is leading to better buildings, structures that are not only more functional and efficient, but also more sustainable and resilient.
So it's not just about building faster and cheaper, it's about building better in every sense of the word.
Exactly. Now, it's important to remember that this shift to a more collaborative culture is still a work in progress. There are still challenges to overcome, such as resistance to change and the need for more standardized processes.
Right, because changing ingrained habits and industry practices takes time. It's not going to happen overnight.
True, but the momentum is building. As more companies embrace cloud collaboration and experience its benefits firsthand, the industry as a whole is moving in the right direction.
It's like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
As more people adopt these technologies and embrace this new culture, it becomes easier for others to follow suit.
And that's why it's so important to keep having conversations like this one. The more we talk about the potential of cloud collaboration and share best practices, the faster this positive transformation will happen.
I agree, these discussions are crucial for raising awareness, dispelling myths, and inspiring others to embrace innovation. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the ins and outs of cloud collaboration, from the practical benefits to the bigger picture implications for the construction industry. It's been an eye-opening journey.
It has. It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you and our listeners.
Well, thank you for joining us for another deep dive into the world of BIM. We'll be back next Friday at 8 p.m. Melbourne time to explore another fascinating topic that's shaping the future of construction.
And remember, we'll be taking a closer look at Revizto in a future episode, so be sure to tune in for that.
Until then, keep learning, keep innovating, and keep building the future.
And keep those BIM skills sharp.
This podcast is designed by Ihsan Mokhtari and powered by AI.